Allow me to clear up some confusion for the ACT. Students will report to the cafeteria from 7:05 to 7:30. Students will then report to their test sites between 7:30 and 7:35. Room supervisors will settle their students from 7:35 to 7:45. However, as soon as you arrive to Gibbs High School's campus room supervisors on Tuesday, you should pick up your testing materials. Teachers will begin reading instructions from 7:45 to 8 o'clock, and test 1 will be for 45 minutes. Any displaced students will report to the Grand Theater. There will be speakers there talking about post-secondary readiness. The ACT bell schedule on Tuesday, period 2 will run from 7:05 to 9:15. There will be a break from 9:15 to 9:30, and then the students will report to fourth period from 9:30 to 11:45. We're hoping to have lunch between 11:50 and 12:25, and we'll continue to encourage the students to bring snacks for the break. Any room supervisors that have students that are displaced, they will report to the Grand Theater. Just remember, room supervisors, you're not to delay testing. There are several materials that you'll have to turn in, and make certain that you direct students to the assigned seats that you have for them. Your primary job is to pay attention and make sure that you are circulating the room and filling out the forms correctly. Give me just a moment and I will show you your forms that are due. The first form that you'll need to fill out is the ACT State District Testing Roster. This form indicates the students that are present. I know some of you put check marks, but what we will need you to note is if the student has a photo ID, you would put a P. If the student is recognized by one of the staff members, you'll place an R and your initials. And if the student has a letter of identification, then you will place an L there. If the student is absent, then you will place a dash. Give me just a moment and I'll show you your other documents. Remember, we're giving 4 tests. The first test is 45 minutes. The second test is 60 minutes. The third test is 35 minutes, and that is the reading test. And the fourth test is 35 minutes also. That's the science test. Be cognizant of your times. The moment you finish reading the directions for ACT for each section, then you press the start button on your smartboard and document that time. You have to watch the smartboard because the moment the time gets to 5 minutes, you need to identify that time to all of the students in the class. The ACT test book countlet form is where you will note all of the test booklets that we've given to you. The whole purpose of this count form is to make certain that we can get the serial numbers for all of the testing materials that you've received. Remember, we're not worried about the right-hand side, we're only worried about the left-hand side. Give me just a moment and I'll show you your timesheets. Just a reminder, all students are testing standard time. We don't have any students using ACT accommodations for this assessment. Be mindful that your verbal instructions begin on page 40. Don't be like me. Go home and practice. Remember, the ... means a simple pause. The arrow gives you a directive to do something, and all of the shaded in information has to be read to students, and I'll show you. You have an arrow indicating that you as the teacher need to do something. The shaded in area, you should only be reading ACT, no writing shaded in. And also, when they ask you to do the ... you just pause. Just a little blink.